place is Kampa Island. Kampa in Prague's charming Malasrana district is Prague's largest island. Kampa Island, the Little Venice, is one of Prague's most romantic areas. Most people walk above Kampa Island Prague without setting foot on it and realizing it. Its riverside position also means it has some of the best viewpoint in Prague, with outstanding outlooks onto the river and especially Charles Bridge. Tucked between Vltava River and the romantic Stovka Channel, the island's spark come alive in the warmer months, with picnickers, dog walkers, and friends gathered on the greenery display to catch up on their vitamin D. With direct view of the Vltava roaring rapid and the city's famous Child Bridge, Kampa is also home to the Kampa Museum, a former modern art museum dedicated to 20th century Central European art. Second place is Malasrana. Malasrana was founded by the King Ottokar II of Bohemia in 1257. As a royal town, a town founded by the king, it got many privileges. The name of Malasrana literally means little site. It was created by amalgamating a number of settlements beneath the Prague castle into a single administrative unit. The original residents were expelled, and mostly German craftsmen and merchants were invited by the king. Even though the city was royal, the king did not master the city as a whole. The most extensive building of the Baroque era on Malasrana is the Wallenstein Palace. Albrecht von Wallenstein was the military general-in-chief of Emperor Ferdinand II. Under his order, 26 new houses and old gates were built on the Freed Place. The extensive palace complex with 5 courtyards and the garden, which is set as a French park. The churches are the most frequent and interesting development on Malasrana. The finest one and the most prominent is the St. Nicholas Church. The famous statue of the Holy Infant Jesus of the Prague is in the Church of Our Lady Victorious in Malasrana. The devotion and the church drew millions of Roman Catholic faithful to Malasrana throughout the years. Astronomical clock show, installed in year 1410, it is located on the Old Town City Hall in Prague's Old Town Square. The clock mechanism has 3 main components: the astronomical dials representing the position of the sun and moon in the sky and displaying various astronomical details. The medieval clock features an astronomical dials, the work of the apostles, and hourly show the moving sculptures, and a monthly calendar dials with the 12 signs of the zodiac. The clock is the center of Prague and the city's most popular site. On the top of every hour, huge crowd gather to watch the movement of the 12 apostles. 2 doors on either side of the clock open, and the statue become animated with 12 moving disciples. According to local legend, the city will suffer if the clock is neglected and its good operation is placed in jeopardy. A ghost mounted on the clock was supposed to nod its head in confirmation. According to the legend, the only hope was represented by a boy born on New Year's night.
At night, it's dinner and time to feel ourselves from starving at restaurant well progressed. Everyone cannot wait to eat the delicious food for our dinner. Beautiful place overlooking a small canal, very romantic. The grilled meat was delicious and grilled on the spot right in front of us. Service was perfect and the waitress was very nice and suggested some plates that we very much enjoyed. Then around 10 p.m. we walked to Old Castle of Zamkin Skudi Scale. Old Castle still leads from the beneath of Prague Castle, specifically from the East Castle Gate in an area called the Oaks to the Klarov in Leisure Town.
After breakfast, we go to Prague Castle, taking the tram for only 90 minutes. It's just on the other side of the road. Prague Castle has a lot of ground to cover, 750,000 square feet to be exact. And depending on what you want to see, you can spend all day here. Prague Castle, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is the largest world ancient castle built in the 9th century. The front of the St. Vitus Cathedral is free to explore, but you must choose which ticket to purchase to see the rest of the ground. There is one free part that you can see in this castle. It is the Golden Lane. But it's only possible for free in the evening, and you will only get a slight taste of what Golden Lane really looks like. On top of that, the ticket grants access to the historical significant interiors of Prague Castle, which are quite beautiful. You will be able to see the most beautiful part of the cathedral, a tombstone entirely made of silver, a tomb of Saint Wenceslaus, patron saint, and you will be also able to see the one of Europe's largest Gothic circular vaulted spaces, the interior of St. George Basilica, Prague Castle's oldest standing church, and remember the Golden Lane? Yes, this is how it looks when you get the ticket. All of the doors of those adorable houses open and you can go inside. You also can visit the defensive corridor, a torture chamber, and an alchemist laboratory. It's 1 p.m. right now, and we are heading to the other side of the bridge to check out the Wenceslas Square, Franciscan Gardens, Church of Our Lady of the Snows, and head to the Franz Kafka. They're all located pretty close to each other, so it'll be nice walk around New Time in Prague.
In the evening, my friends and I went to Lucerna Palace, where one of Prague's famous statues hangs on the ceiling, which is King Wenceslas riding an upside-down horse. The Lucerna Palace is a huge building in central Prague, housing small shop, cafes, a music bar, a concert hall, and a cinema. And the most interesting things are the non-stop running open wooden elevators called Paternoster. This Paternoster elevator takes us to an amazing rooftop terrace. The roof of Lucerna offers a view of the Prague Castle panorama from an interesting place above the roof of the old town. It is a place visited by Prague resident artists, hipster, but also contemporary witnesses who remember the glory of the whole building. People can have some refreshment in the bar on the roof, such as beer, wine, or homemade soft drinks.
It is our third and final day in Prague, and we're having breakfast at Cafe Lerv. Cafe Lerv, which opened in 1902, is one of the best cafes in Prague. The unique atmosphere of the historical Grand Cafe, as known by Franz Kafka and Albert Einstein. It's a lovely cafe that serves you breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and has a view of Nadroni Street. We tried the famous raspberry pancakes. The sauce was a little bit too sweet for me, but I can see why the dish appealed to others. They also serve excellent coffee and desserts. The atmosphere at this Cafe Lerv is magical despite the fact that it is very busy. You can sense the presence of great minds such as Franz Kafka or Albert Einstein.
It is the perfect way to end our amazing 3 days in Prague. As you can see, there is so much place to visit and things to do in Prague, one of the most beautiful cities in Europe. Thank you for joining us in our journey, and see you next time. Goodbye!